Okay, good morning. How are you? So welcome back to the channel where I love bomb you and then I ghost you. And I'm really sorry about that. And I am trying to be better, okay? I value this relationship and I don't want to behave like that anymore. I want to be consistent. I want to turn up consistently, okay? I know you'll forgive me. So what are you in for today? Well, let's roll a little intro and then get going. See you on the other side.
Today we talk all things social media, how to create it, where I get my ideas from, and honestly, I just encourage you to start making it too. I try and fail to sort some of my clothes. I accidentally doom scroll while I'm recording, so that's cool. And it's just a little slice of my normal life. And I even managed to talk a bit about why I'm so passionate about voting. I squeeze in a little Christian deconstruction stuff too, which is all part of some of the social media content I've been making lately. So if that sounds a little bit like you, or you just want to have a little chit chat and see what a full-time creative gets up to in a normal day in April in Kirikiriroa, Hamilton, New Zealand, then I'd love it if you stuck around. Whenever you see me making content, if you watch my content online, this is where I am sitting on the ground. I'm sitting on the ground by a big light source, and then if the light changes, I kind of have like this warm lamp kind of going as well. So if you ever think to yourself, oh, I just don't have like a proper setup or something to make short form content, you just need the ground and a window. So just, don't let it stop you. My phone is there. I always have my trusty laptop kind of with me, like right off screen, like right off out of shot, so you can't see it. That's a little bit higher than what I normally have it. But yeah, it's don't let anything kind of stop you. If you're wanting to make short form content, then just grab your phone and start talking. Seriously, start talking about something that you're passionate about. That's honestly all it takes. And the cringe factor. Does the cringe factor ever go away? I don't know. I'm at this really interesting spot right now where over the past couple of days, probably like 5 or 6 days, I have just had the nicest messages from people, strangers really, who, just say like, thank you so much for making your content and I really appreciate the things that you're saying and you're putting into words what I'm feeling, but I just don't know how to say it. And that's been really, really nice. Like, it's just nice. I mean, it's good to get feedback, right? And you get plenty of crazy comments from, profiles with no profile pictures and, 3 followers and they follow 4,500 people and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, when people, slide into the DMs and give you really nice feedback, it's really great. And as an artist, you do need that kind of validation, like, because most of the time you just think, am I screaming into a void? Sometimes the answer feels like, yes, I am, yeah, but that's okay. That's part of the journey too. And does the cringe factor ever go away? It's funny, the last couple of days, like since I've received that feedback, I feel like I've just had an idea, I've executed it, this is for short form content, and then I've put it out in the world and like put it on my social media feeds, and I haven't had a second thought about it, which is really cool. And I have a feeling that that will come and go, like any kind of confidence. But yeah, it feels nice to find a little sweet spot like that, because trust me, there's almost every other time you just overthink it and then you watch it back and then you're like, I look weird. And then you've already spent half an hour editing yourself, so you've spent a weird amount of time staring at your own face. But yeah, it's if you're wanting to make short form content, I just want to say, like, if you've got a phone, which you're probably watching this on a phone, most people do, and if you're obviously like you're consuming short form content, and so you can probably make it on your phone. And when I first started making content, I made it on this. I think this is an iPhone 11, maybe. Gosh, it doesn't even work really. It doesn't really work now. But when I first started making content, I just recorded on here. It's all I had, and it worked fine. Like, no one's in your comments like, is that an iPhone 11? Like no one knows. So the big thing, I think, is sound, and this is going to be interesting because I don't have the mic right now. I'm relying on the mic and the camera. But sound really clear, and if you're not sure about your sound, if you're using a thing like CapCut, which I've never used before, but I'm sure it has it, and edits from Instagram, just put the captions on. Seriously, I put the captions in every video, and just put the captions on, and it just helps people. It actually like helps people hear you. Does that make sense? Like, they're reading it, but they can actually hear you better. So yeah, sound is really important, and just make sure you have a light source, and just say it clearly, say it confidently, and you can make it. You don't need a special studio, you don't need a special camera. I mean, everyone spends money in upgrades, especially as you get further along and as you keep making content. But you want to make content, do it scared. Do it scared, do it cringe, just do it. Okay, so I've just finished filming 2 pieces of short form content, and one of them's about Whittaker's banana caramel chocolates.
Did you hear that Whittaker's is actually going to make the banana caramel chocolate block a mainstay now, right?
You're going to see the real, like, it's already up. Like, I've just filmed 2 of them. I have actually edited both of them so that tomorrow I'm traveling to something for family for the weekend, and so it's actually like easier for me to just get it done, get it out, and then it's kind of saved on my phone, ready for me to upload. And yeah, it's just, yeah, I can't encourage you enough. If you want to make short form content, just dive right in. Don't think about it too much. Just do it. And yeah, I've already posted one today. I saw the idea from another creator who I made sure to tag in the description on Instagram and in the comments on TikTok. And I just saw she had a really great idea, and I was like, oh, I can kind of adapt this idea. I can kind of, change it a little bit, tweak it a little bit, but always make sure you give creators like a shout out, give them kudos for their idea, because it was her idea. Yeah, so right now, what am I going to do? I've got some errands to run, and then pop home and get some more work done. So yesterday, I managed to finish a script on a short film that I'm wanting to make this year, just as a further extension to some of my short form content. So if you're listening away right now and you're thinking, oh, she's talking about a short form content a little bit, I found her on YouTube. What does this mean? So over on mostly Instagram, but I post to TikTok, and I put my a few of the shorts work on YouTube as well. I do political stuff, I do rugby stuff, I do a bit of Christian deconstruction stuff. And yeah, I'm kind of wanting to do more long form stuff. So I'm a writer, I'm a filmmaker, and I am wanting to obviously I want to make more short films. And so this year I've met some collaborators who, are keen to help me. So that's really exciting. And yeah, it's about encouraging people to vote. Hello, my darling Whittaker, how are you? Good boy. And yeah, and so if you haven't seen any of my other stuff, or you've landed here because the thumbnail attracted you so much and you know nothing about me, just know that I am incredibly passionate about people voting. Democracy is in decline around the world, and our trust in democracy is declining around the world. And last year and at the beginning of this year, here in New Zealand, the current government changed the voting laws, and it's incredibly disturbing. It's completely undemocratic. And what they've done is they've made it so that you have to enroll by a certain date in order to vote in New Zealand. Now, previously, you could enroll right up to on election day. So what we do is we have 2 weeks prior to election day, you can go and vote at different places. There's flags on the street and community centres and some school halls and things like that. And you can
roll on up. In New Zealand, you don't even need ID. You just roll on up, you give them your details, you can enroll to vote, and then you can cast your vote for the government. It's an incredibly beautiful thing because it's about removing hurdles in democracy for people to participate. And that is democracy. Democracy! That's what we're supposed to be living in. And this government has made it so that in those 14 days, that you can't enroll to vote. So, the moment early voting begins, your enrollment was like midnight before. So you're going to see the flags, you're busy living your busy life, doing life in this crazy time, and you're going to see all the flags for voting, and you're going to be like, oh, that's right. And you're going to roll on up somewhere, and they're going to say, and you're going to go, oh, I'm going to update my details, or I'm here to enroll to vote, and I want to cast my vote today. And they're going to say, I'm sorry, but the law's changed. You can't enroll to vote. You can't vote this year. It is absolutely disgusting. I am filled with a rage, and it is like powering me to make this short form content to encourage people to vote. And so in short and very long and in short, that's what's happening here. I am so angry. And so, my video, my short film music video that I'm wanting to make, that is about encouraging people to enroll in time to make sure that they can vote. And that's what we need to do. We need to change the law back. And we need to reinstate a piece of New Zealand's democracy because they are trying to break it down, actually. They are trying to take away a piece of New Zealanders' freedom. And we need to take it back from them. So that's what I'm passionate about. That's like a big chunk of what I do on social media. Just kind of promote myself and my work and the stories that I'm writing on social media. So if you don't follow me there, you can follow me on TikTok. But if you want to interact with me a little bit more, I'm definitely on Instagram. I find Instagram just a better app. TikTok is the wild, wild west of social media, and there are some colourful individuals. We'll just say that. So anyway, right now I'm going to sort out some of my clothes. I feel like I'm not wearing some of my clothes that I really like, and I'm going to take them to a tailor and see if they can help me with that. So let's go and do that.
Stuff to the tailor, and she was like, I can't do what you want me to do. She's like, that's not really a thing. So she saved me some money. She was great. It's 1:40. I'm really hungry. Let's have some lunch. Okay, so I'm gonna have some of these cauliflower bites and some of these kumara bites as well. Oh, this camera is crazy. It just kind of follows me around. We can save the planet a little bit. Reuse, recycle, and all that stuff. Just need, okay. This afternoon, hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes. Hopefully that didn't do something to your Google inside your house. So I kind of need a good amount of food to get me through the afternoon and then to dinner, which we're having Vietnamese for dinner. Yum. Okay, so while I wait for that, I'm going to reply to some comments. Yeah, I put that reel up today, and then what else do I need to do right now? Probably just like some emails. Right. I think it's recording. I'm still learning about this mic. So, I mean, I'm only a human, and I am, I can doom scroll a lot, and so I just try and get totally distracted like that. Yeah, I just try and not spend too much time on it, but I mean, you can definitely see that when you engage online, like you reply to people's comments and things like that, like it goes a lot further, and it's also, I think it's like a fun part of it. Yeah, so it's like when people repost your stuff, that's really cool. When people comment, I try and reply. And yeah, but yeah, I like any other normal human, like sometimes I find that for some reason it's like when I'm creating more content, I find myself consuming quite a bit as well, and you just get sucked into the vortex, the internet, and so you've got to have limits on stuff, and you've got to you just have to hold yourself accountable. But remember, like, they make it so that it's addictive. So if you're like, oh, I really struggle with doom scrolling and I really struggle with not having the apps on my phone, yeah, it's because they're purposely planned like that. So, watch long form video. Watch long form video. I got asked a few days ago, someone was napkin. Someone said to me, like, in my DMs, they said, hey, thanks so much for your content, and we're kind of just having a really brief chat, and they just said, oh, I want to create content, but I'm just not really sure where to start. And so I kind of started thinking about, like, where do I get my ideas? And I'm just serving up my lunch 30 seconds ago, and my mum called me before. Shout out to my mum. And we just like had a little chat about something. And yesterday I put up a Christian deconstruction piece of content online. And I had some nice comments, and I had another new person slide into my DMs and have a little chat with me about their experience at Arise. And the thing of, like, where do I get my content ideas from is that, I had a wee chat about that with my mum, who, is still, like, in the church, and she obviously, her and my dad, like, raised my brothers and I Christian. And yeah, we come from, like, a conservative Christian background. And then obviously I went into Arise, which is an evangelical church, Pentecostal church. It's a conservative brand of Christianity. Like, there's lights, there's smoke, people are dressed in nice clothing, but it's conservative. It's hella conservative. And I'm kind of having, like, my mind is just working through that conversation with my mum, and I suddenly had this thought, like, God is bigger than our sensibilities, right? I want to make sure I've got the right word there. Let's have a look. Yeah, so sensibility means the quality of being able to appreciate and respond to complex emotional or aesthetic influences. So a quality of delicate sensitivity. So sensibilities can also mean a quality of delicate sensitivity that makes one liable to be offended or shocked, right? And So what I'm saying is God is bigger than our sensibilities. So like, let's take a really, really simple one, swearing. So, you know, you can swear, and if you grew up in a Christian tradition, you might have heard like, don't take God's name in vain. And you're like, it was kind of really serious. Like, we weren't allowed to like swear as kids, and certainly like even now, like I'm in my 30s and my mum will tell me, don't swear, don't take God's name in vain. And that's her thing, like all good, right? But for me, it's like taking God's name in vain is not about like swearing, like, which I think is a human sensibility. It's our like clutching our pearls and kind of being like, whoa, swearing. But actually, like taking God's name in vain for me is about saying, oh, this is God ordained, and then doing something of harm in God's name. That's taking God's name in vain. And God is just so much bigger than our sensibilities. Like, that's what I'm saying about, like, for Christian deconstruction. And for me, what that means is, like, God is not offended by me making short form content on the internet about my journey of Christian deconstruction. Like, if we believe as Christians that He is omnipresent, He is all-knowing, or she is all-knowing, that she's like everywhere all the time, like just all-powerful God, right? Like, if we believe that about the God of the Christian faith, then if God knows my heart, then they know why I make those videos, what I genuinely believe when I'm talking to people in the DMs about their painful journey through Arise or evangelical faith. Like, God knows exactly what I'm thinking, what I believe, what my heart behind my content and my work or whatever, right? And so, like, this idea of like offending God, which was a little bit a part of the conversation that I had this morning, is like, it makes me laugh, because I just think like, God's a little bit like past a bit of like sensitivity, like, oh, don't offend me, like, because they are just so much larger. Like, I believe that like my higher power is just so much larger than a human, right? That's what we believe about like a higher power, like a God, that some of us choose to call God. So yeah, I just, that's kind of like a really roundabout way of saying, like, how do I get an idea for content? Well, right now, like, I've opened up my Notions. I use Notion for lots of like my content ideas and writing stuff down. And I've just got this big title here. And so I'm going to sit with this for the next couple of minutes as I eat my lunch. And I'm going to like think about that idea, like God is bigger than our sensibilities. And that, like, next week will turn into another video. And that's how it happens. Like, it just, that's, you kind of think of something, I start kind of mulling it over in my brain, I make notes, I like refine the script. Like, when you edit, like when you, this is like any kind of filmmaking, and short form content is part of that as well. What happens is you kind of get the idea and you write it down, and then you make it, and you essentially, when you're filming it, some things don't feel right, and you're saying the words out loud, but the sentences are a bit sticky, or the words are a bit sticky, and so then you almost rewrite it in that moment as well, like on the fly. And then when you go to edit it, sometimes it's longer than 3 minutes, for example, and it's kind of ideal to keep your videos, your short form content, under 3 minutes. And you're rewriting it again. So you kind of get to write it 3 times in a way, and then you can reflect on it and, like, you know, put it online, post it online, or release it into the wild. So yeah, that's how I get my ideas. So you might be thinking like, oh, I don't know, like, I don't know what to talk about. I don't pick something you're passionate about and just start somewhere and just go for it. And another thing I kind of wanted to talk about today as well is that, you know, once you put that idea out in the world, there's kind of just like no, like, you can't control it after that, and it can be a little bit scary. Like I've made short form content where people have, it's like landed on the wrong side of the internet, and it's just, the comment sections are just, you gotta delete the app and take a few days off sometimes, because people just take all their own understandings and beliefs and everything they project onto you, and then they just like vomit it in the comment section. But then the other way is sometimes people will take it and just turn it into something else. And about 2 weeks ago, I made a reel about Brooke Van Velden, and just like almost this wishes video of,
Oh my goodness, I think Tuesday has just become my favorite day of the week. Look who has resigned from Parliament. Oh my goodness, it is a miracle, thank God.
like, because she just torpedoed our pay equity legislation in New Zealand, which is, is one part of improving equality for women here in New Zealand. I had a list of wishes that I hoped that she's stepped down from Parliament, and I had wishes for that. So someone contacted me and just said, hey, I want to make a piece of art from that wishes video. And I was like, cool. And so it's like what you put out into the world, it can then it snowballs, and it touches other people, and they can then take that and be inspired by that and make their own art. And so I just can't recommend enough just making your art, being brave. My husband's calling me and I'm ignoring him because I'm here with you, remember? Like, I'm not going to ghost you, right? I'll ghost him. And I think it's so cool. And so it's going to take a couple of months for that artist to make that stuff. And then I'm going to be able to see how my art has inspired another artist. And I just think that's really, really cool. So I can't encourage you enough. Like, if you just want to make stuff, put it out in the world, share it with people. You never know where it's going to go. And yeah, sometimes it lands on the wrong side of the internet, but you'll be okay. So I've had my lunch. It's about an hour until I pretty much need to pack up and get ready and go to my pole dancing class. Did I tell you about that? Well, no, I did. I definitely will not be filming there, but I might insert some little clips of my amazing, delicious Vietnamese dinner. And if you're still watching, you're in the top 20% of viewers on YouTube. So drop your favorite vegetable emoji below and I'll say hi in the comments. Thanks very much. Make sure you can follow along on my socials, especially my Instagram. And if you want to interact, then Instagram is probably the best place to find me. That's where I put my stories, daily stories and stuff like that. And yeah, it's time now for me. I'm just going to upload footage and kind of do all the tech admin that comes with making YouTube videos and making content. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. And like I said, I'm going to try and be consistent here. This is a two-way relationship. I'm not going to ghost you again. I certainly hope not. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.